La 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 la. Let's see. Look at all of that. There's all these people here. I love people. Who doesn't like people? Let's see. I might even join this thing with my own face if I'm not careful. Hey, face. There's a face. La 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 la. Hello, everybody. I see you coming in here. Oh my God, it is 1 o'clock already. How the hell did that happen? All righty then. Sculpture. What a deal. Well, I'm just kind of doing a little cleanup here on aisle 5. Clean up, aisle 5, clean up. And let's just turn on the participants list for a minute to see who's all here. I see Dylan and Rhea and Catherine are here. And 154-134-04197, whoever you are, is also here. Hello. All right. Well, this is my way of taking attendance. So let's see. I want to make sure you guys are here so I can give you your participation points for being here. Somehow I don't even have Dylan. There we go. There's Dylan in my class. I was just about to say you're not here. Why would somebody say that? Christopher's here. Okay. Pristine is there. How about that shit, sports fans? All right. And Rhea. There's always this paperwork that has to be done. Catherine. All right. One never knows when one is here or not.
I was gone on Tuesday, so what did I miss?
Well, we're going to talk about that. So you're just here at the right time and the right place. I'm going to kind of recap Tuesday's little presentation real fast. We're trying to finish up our first mask. So we're still flipping them over, hollowing them out on the back side. If flipping them over means breaking or smashing really important bits that are kind of protruding out the front of the sculpture, we want to cut those bits off. If there are horns, if there are mustache curls, if there is a big nose or a beak sticking out, we might want to cut that off when we flip the mask over to hollow it out so it's not getting in the way. And
I do have a small, my mask is too hard to cut into.
Ooh.
So what should I do?
Well, you could pack it in moist towels, either paper towels or terry cloth towels, and let it get back to a leather hard where you could cut into it. Is your mask still solid?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you may have to take some towels, some actual terry cloth towels, and get them moist and wring them out, and then pack it in those towels and cover it up with plastic to get it to re-moisten, and we can bring it back to something that isn't quite a hard leather hard, and then you'll be able to carve on it and cut on it and hollow it from the back side. All right. So I have a fantasy that we're going to make a second mask for this mask making project. I wanted you guys to have the ability to go crazy, go wild, probe your own imagination and play with the clay a little bit. Sometimes you gotta just smash the clay in your fingers and play with it and feel what it feels like when it squishes through your fingertips, and that's fantastic. And I'd like to be able to critique pieces today and talk about them. I think last time I asked maybe to see if you guys could take cell phone photo of your piece and have that photograph somehow open on your desktop so that we might be able to share screens today and look at our pieces. Um, we'll see how many of you are able to do that. In the meantime, I also wanted to get us started on a new sculpture. And so I've thrown a sculpture together, and I wanted to once again go back to my PowerPoint that I had on Tuesday and just revisit that a little bit and talk about that stuff. So what do I want to do first? Let's try something, shall we? Let's see what happens. Does anybody have an actual cell phone photograph of your piece, a digital photograph of your piece?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Yay! Okay. If you guys can have that open as a document on your desktop, I would love it for whoever wants to go first to go ahead and share screen. I'm going to just go ahead and click on this so that multiple people can share screens, and that'll be great. I got to open the chat stuff too. Oh, I got the I do's. Okay. Elizabeth wanted to tell me her Wi-Fi is down. Okay, got it. All right. So please feel free, Christopher or Pristine, to go ahead and share screen. Whichever one of you can do it first, you get to share the screen. And let's see what your mask looks like. Maybe we can.
Give me a second to send my mask to my computer, because it's going to take a second for me to send that to it because it's from my phone. I need to upload it to my computer.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's fine. How about Christopher? Do you have your photo?
Yeah, I have it open. How do I share screen?
Go down to the bottom of this screen and hit the green button that says share screen, and then it'll take you to your desktop documents, and then you click on the document you want to share, and then hit the share button one more time, and you got it.
Okay, 1 second.
Hey, Paul is here. What do you know? That's good. All right. Who else is crashing my party here? I just got to pull this down. Daniela is here. Look at that. Alrighty then. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Here comes one. All right, fantastic. We can see it. That is beautiful. Okay, Christopher, I'm going to write some things down here. That's a beautiful thing. It's a mask. It looks, it's got very human characteristics to it. It has, you know, its eyes are very human. Eyebrows, eye sockets, lids, top and bottom, with eyeballs inside of the lids. That's fantastic. You got cheekbones. Oh my God. And hollow spaces underneath the cheeks. You got a nose with a bridge, tip and nostrils. Fantastic. Oh my God, you have a philtrum between the bottom of your nose and the top of your top lip. And of course, very nicely done lips. Have you done faces before?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, now I can see that you're kind of getting devilish with us today. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Was this fun to do? Was it fun to put the horns on there?
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Okay.
I have it hollowed out now too. I took this before I hollowed it out. I ended up hollowing it out, like the eyes are just holes. You can see right through them.
Okay. All right. And when you hollowed it on the back, were you able to put some kind of a lip or hanging device across the back of the forehead area so that it can catch a nail and hang on the wall, possibly by chance, perchance?
Yeah.
Yay! Fantastic. Okay, that's good. You took this picture before you hollowed it out. So have you since done more in terms of either texture or smoothing because smoothing is a texture too.
No, not I haven't yet. I was thinking maybe I would do some texture once it gets a little harder on the
Okay.
face.
All right. And then for everybody, not just you, but everybody, I'd like you guys to try to sign your piece somehow along with the edge, usually the bottom edge on the right or left side, along the cheek or jawbone is a great place to sign your name. That helps me know whose is whose when all of these things come here to visit me and live with me for a little while. I have the crazy idea that you guys will be bringing these things over leather hard maybe tomorrow afternoon so that I can get a start on trying to dry them out, stack them in a kiln, and get them fired. And don't worry if you don't have a piece that's ready to go. I will also welcome them next, let's see, next Friday? Yeah, next Friday. Once again, if you can bring them on over, if pieces are fairly done and leather hard, I'd like them to travel, to transport in the leather hard state if possible, because once they get to be bone dry, they get to be really fragile, and then it's really easy to break stuff off of them. But if you can bring them over when they're still leather hard, I will then dry them the last part of the way and load them into the kilns and fire them successfully for you. I'm also thinking that I think the easiest way for me to keep track of all this stuff is if everybody can take a cell phone photo of your sculpture, and then I'm going to put it in the coursework as an assignment that you can upload to. If you can just upload a photo of your sculpture to me, then I can grade it, and you guys can then get your grades and everything for each project as they get done. So we're going to do that as the way we formally turn in an assignment, is to take a cell phone photo of it and then turn it in for the assignment in coursework. So that's that. Now, I've talked a whole bunch. Is there anybody else who would like to turn on their microphone and give Christopher a little bit of feedback on his piece?
Can you see my piece? I don't know if it's opened or not.
I can't, we can only see one at a time. So right now we're giving Christopher a little bit feedback, and then you're next in line.
Okay.
But
Because I didn't know how to do this screen sharing thing.
We'll get you set up as soon. He has to get off the screen, and then you'll hit the green button, and then you'll be able to screen share yours. What do you think of his piece? Is it scary? Is it human? Do you like the proportions and forms of it?
I really like the texture that he's done to it. This is my first time ever doing a face, and that's really impressive in my opinion, and I really like it.
Thank you.
I'm interested in how well blended the horns are into the forehead. You haven't made a really harsh transition for the horns into the forehead. So they're very organic as they flow right out of the forehead. Was that on purpose, or was that just how it went? Or
Yeah, I'd smoothed them into it pretty well.
okay. And do you have nostrils cut into the bottom of your nostril forms on your nose? It's in shadow, so I can't quite tell.
Yeah, they're holes.
Yay!
They don't go deep.
All right.
They're there.
Does this guy get a COVID mask too?
I could put one on him.
I was just trying to make a joke there. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. If you want to go ahead and hit stop share at the top, that's cool. And then thank you very much. That's a really good mask. Please put the finishing touches on it. And if you could bring it over here tomorrow afternoon between 1 and 3, I will be receiving them right up here in Eden Hall at my back corner door here. And I'll have tables out here so that you can leave the sculptures on the tables. And I will have more clay available for you guys, so everybody can grab another bag of clay and take it home with you to make sure that we can get a second mask made. How does that sound? Does that sound great? Pristine, you are really interested in showing us your piece. Can you hit the share screen button, the green button on the lower part of the screen?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to click on your image on your desktop, and then hit share screen button one more time on your desktop to get it to us.
Okay, just beware. This is my first time ever making a mask, so, but in my opinion, I'm pretty impressed because I've never done those before.
We will be gentle. Okay, there it is. Okay, so um, this is nice. You are playing with some of the ideas from the African masks, and so you've got some linear designs and textures on the cheekbones, coming over the cheekbones. You've got some linear lines that are similar to that, both on the nostrils and also on the bridge of the nose. And you're carrying that through, even through the eyebrow area with some of those incised lines there. That's pretty cool. What'd you think about this first project? Was it scary? Was it fun? Was it frustrating?
In a way, it was kind of frustrating because I couldn't figure out how to do the lips. So, in my opinion, the lips were like the most hard for me. At first, it turned out really great, but then I started messing with it more, and I can't get it back to how I originally wanted for some odd reason. So, I'm stuck with whatever it is.
Well, you're not stuck with it, but please do go ahead and get some moist, either paper towels or terry cloth towels, and pack it in moist towels. You'll get it back to a softer state, and then you should be able to cut it off the board and flip it upside down onto some soft, pillowy thing. I usually like to put crumpled up newspapers or shredded paper or packing peanuts or something into a plastic garbage bag and tie the end off on the plastic garbage bag. And that gives you a nice, soft, pillowy thing to flip your mask upside down on so that you can hollow it out from the back side with one of those loop tools. Does that sound doable for you if you get it softened up again?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do that. So, just use like wet, moist paper towels would do best.
Okay. I'm sorry, I just had a groundskeeper go by with a great big mower. Oh, he's turning around, so he might be coming back. So I didn't quite hear all of that. And anyway, I like your mask. If anybody else is on the line right now and wants to unmute your mic and chime in, if you know Christine, you can sharpen up your knives and be very horrible and critical to her in a critique. If you don't know her, though, then be gentle and try to make some kind of comment about something like the eyes or the nose or the mouth. Anything that really jumps out at you that you'd like to notice or comment on would be great.
I like the lines as well. It unifies it, and it brings the focus back toward the middle, but yet you're still wanting to go toward the outside, and then the nose, the lines down it bring you down to the mouth and the nostrils.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool.
I like that too. One thing that a little helpful hint, a little pointer that I wanted to give you is when you are able to cut the mask off of the board and start working on it, I was also wondering if you could take your wooden trimming stick tool and just try to go around the outside edge of the mask to give it kind of a uniform finished edge. I'm seeing in the picture that some of the clay looks like it got kind of blended and smeared right into the board. And so when that gets cut off with a cutoff tool, you might have an edge that has some sharp parts to it or
Yeah, I was able to cut it off, and I'm holding it right now.
Oh, yay! Okay.
I was able to cut it off, and like it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
But once I moist it or whatever to carve out the back, I can refine some touches on it.
Okay, that's cool. So even if you don't have anything else soft to put the mask on upside down, if you just have another bath towel, you could even just rest the mask upside down on a dry bath towel. Would be cushy enough for it to not smash all of your details.
Yeah, I'm using a bath towel right now inside a plastic bag to have the mask sit on top of.
Okay, sounds good. Very good. Well, thank you for sharing. It was scary. Oh, look at that. She returned the thing to us. All right. What time are we dropping off? 1 o'clock? Yeah, 1 o'clock. Let's, between 1 and 3, for those of you who are 30 miles away, if you can get over here. And if you're here earlier in the day, just drop it off by my back door. And if I'm not here to receive it, it will be safe because there's very little traffic here with COVID and everything going on. But I will pile up some clay outside the back door so you guys can help yourself to another bag of clay if you need clay. And I'll have a couple of boards on the pile if you need to avail yourself of another board. But hopefully most people got 2 boards. Oh, Paula's got her hand up. What's up? Let's see. Did you want to tell me something else, Paula? You got your hand still up?
No, I forgot to take it down.
Okay, I took it down. Catherine's got her hand up. What's up, Catherine? Did you want to share your project today? Catherine's mic is not even visible, so I don't even know if you've got a mic. Your camera is visible, but you have no mic. Oh, there's a mic. Hey, you just turned on a mic. How'd you do that? Okay, now the mic is muted, so now you're off. Okay, so you're off mute, you're on mute. Okay. Catherine, did you want to show us your mask while you're getting so much attention here? And she got all shy again because now everything has been muted and turned off. Okay, that's good. Who else is here who might have had a chance to take a photograph of their mask and have it open on your desktop so that you can share with the rest of the group? Is there anybody else?
Can you hear me?
Just barely. There's a lot of crud in the background, but I can't hear you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it over my phone, but I don't know how to unmute my phone. I'll try and share it. I don't know if it'll work.
Okay, we're getting some echoes. You might have 2 microphones on both your phone and your computer, but at any rate, we're coming through.
I don't know how to share. It won't let me.
Okay, let me just check my screen share to make sure that I've enabled multiple participants. And then you have to hit the green share screen button at the bottom of your screen, and then it'll show you all of your open documents. And then you got to click on your document, and then you got to click on share screen a second time to make it come up on the screen.
It won't let me. Like, I'm trying to hit the share button, but it won't. It's not even like blue or whatever.
That's not kind.
It's fine.
I'm so sorry. You tried so hard too.
Oh, it's fine. I have a lot of issues with the internet and trying to get it to work.
Okay.
So, yeah. I'll share on the page.
Okay. Well, I will put this up as a homework that you'll be able to turn in. So save your photograph so that you can turn it in, and that's fine. Were you able to get it cut off of the board and hollowed out?
I haven't done that yet. I forgot to hollow it out, or to uncover it. So I did that this morning.
All right.
But basically my mask is, like I did an old man's face, and I did from like the cheeks and the nose area, and I made it kind of hollow. So it's like this area. But there's still clay on the back. Does that make sense? So it's like inverted. And then like the top part, the forehead to like the eyes is clay. And that I'm gonna take the back and scoop that out, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
I don't know if it does.
I think you sent me a picture of yours earlier in the week, so I think I've seen it in process already, which is good. And yeah, we'll want to get it hollowed out and then hopefully tomorrow afternoon it will be dry enough so that you can bring it over here in some kind of leather hards. Yeah, that's the one. Successfully. Okay, that's the scary one. Yes, indeed. There it is. Okay, I remember that. Thank you so much. That's cool. Okay. And so we're going to ask anybody else if they want to take a turn and share their mask. Dylan's got his mic undone.
I can.
You can. All right. Well, let's go find you. I got to go try to find you. There you are. All right. So we're going to pin your video and see if you can make the share screen thing happen. How's life going for you these days in the world of COVID-19 or 20? Here it comes. We've almost got it. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. So it's kind of small at this point. Somehow we got a screen and a screen, but that's okay.
Shoot.
Is it
There.
stupid? Okay, I get it though. I can see it. It kind of.
Full screen.
I got something that looks sort of like human proportions through the eyes, nose, and mouth, and yet I see the things up on the top that kind of look like horns, but they might be ears. I'm not exactly sure. It's very interesting in its abstraction because it's got lots of texture, and the mouth is really scary, and I love the huge deep dark cast shadow inside of the mouth. That's really fun and good. I like that you've been able to keep the
Yeah.
additive texture. Go ahead.
I liked when you made a example of your mask, and it was like by finger texture, so I kind of wanted to keep that.
Yeah, I can see the roughness, and each one of those folds and each one of the kind of additive texture marks adds a lot of interesting texture and information to the surface of the mask. So that's very nice. Have you been able to cut this off the board and hollow it out from the backside?
I have.
Oh, good. Okay, fantastic.
I just don't know if it's thick enough.
Okay.
Tall.
Okay, it is hollow. And so maybe we'll just work on making the next one thicker. If you think this one's a little flat and doesn't quite have enough of a dome shape or protuberance from the background, we'll work on that more with the next one, okay? But I think we got to keep it here.
I think it's about like 2-3 inches, I think.
Oh, good. Fantastic. All right. And does the nose stick out more?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
That adds like 2 or 3 inches also.
All right. Fantastic. And how about a hanging device on the back side up near the forehead, something to catch a nail? Does it have some kind of a ledge or something to become a hanging device for us?
Tried, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not. It might fall off if it was hanging.
Okay. I will try to do a little bit of a demo here towards the end of the hour where I can show you how to beef up a hanging device and improvise a hanging device while the clay is still moist or even leather hard. So we'll get you hooked up then. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks for sharing. That's looking good. Anybody else want to share their project? Thank you very much. You've done good, Dylan. Thank you very much. Anybody else today want to try sharing their mask? Otherwise, I've got some more things I can play with and share with you guys. All right. Let me take this thing over. I'm going to go try to find my self and pin my video so that we've got all of this going on here. I wanted to try to do a short little demo for you guys today to start you off on a second mask. Now that you've done a first mask and you've got your feet wet and you've played around with the clay a little bit, let's try to do another mask after this one. I want you to try to finish up this mask and bring it in tomorrow, but then I want to be working on another mask over the weekend and then try to finish up the other mask at the end of next week. So this is going to be quick and dirty and fast, but it's also going to be, it's going to take you guys outside of your comfort zone a little bit. So let me change my view to my overhead view here, and we'll look at a mask that I'm working on right now. So I threw this together over the noon hour today while I had my office hour kind of going here, and I'm going to just try, because my lighting is not great here, to do a few things. So first of all, Christine, I think, was talking about lips, and she was a little bit concerned about making lips or making a lip form that was that looked like a human lip or something. So let's try to roll ourselves out a coil of clay so that it becomes, you know, a nice round coil of clay in our hands. And then I usually will put that lip form right down onto the sculpture and blend it on, especially on the top side of the lip form, blend it into the cheeks and the surrounding tissues like that. Then might even have to get closer to this, but we'll see what happens here. For a lip, for a human lip, the upper lip is usually a three-part lip. So there's this little cute little tiny little lip form in the middle with a couple of little cracks, and then two major lip forms that separate away from it. So I've got that happening. I've also got this concept of corresponding to that central portion of the lip would be the philtrum that would go up to the bottom of the nose. Now, unfortunately, I, in my infinite wisdom, have started sculpting this very strange Cubist, Picasso-inspired face. And so I wanted to just switch from this really fast to my PowerPoint presentation again, just so that I could get into this idea of Cubist, Picasso Cubism one more time. So I'm going to try doing that and get into this. And so the idea is that he plays with the idea of different kinds of shapes for the eyes. You can either have an eye that is very forward looking, so that it's frontal, so that it looks like the classic almond shape of an eye with a pupil inside of it and all of that. But he plays with the geometric stylization, you know, in the nose, really straightening out the bridge of the nose, really flattening the nose, or running the nose sideways as if you're seeing the nose in profile while you're seeing other parts of the face from the full frontal part of the face. And I'm just going to run through really quickly. I do like this idea that the eyes are not in the same plane, that they're uneven with each other, that one eye is really up high, and I like that this eye kind of continues this curve of the bridge of the nose up into the eye, and the eyebrow becomes something that continues on with the bridge of the nose. I also like the idea that the mouth can be off-center, off to the side, and really twisted and bent. So when we look at get out of here, you. Okay, when we look at some of these portraits that he did that were Cubist kind of portraits, we can see that this nose kind of really morphs. We get the profile nose off to one side, and it kind of doubles sometimes as a cheekbone over here, but also a profile nose. And then he pulls the nostrils back, you know, away from that. So we've got one nostril underneath the profile nose and a second nostril over here that sort of wants to be a frontal nostril for the frontal nose. We can either have the lips be in profile like they are here so that we can see the side view of the chin and the lips, or we can come over here to the right side and see lips that are much more centered, you know, in the face, from a full face, frontal face kind of a view, with the chin, the protuberance of the chin form right underneath the lips. But again, we've got the nose way off to the side over here. And of course, again, we've got the eyes, one lower than the other, and all of this, this on purpose movement and displacement of form. He's doing it on purpose to really to get us out of our comfort zone with the cubist approach to the portrait. So if I stop sharing this and I come back to my face here, I'm doing some of the same thing kind of here. I've got one eye over here that's very frontal, and one eye over here that feels like it's a little bit like a side view of an eye that is a little bit more of the eye in silhouette. And again, the same thing with the eyelid. I'm going to take a coil of clay, and I'm going to roll the coil of clay in my hand. I've got the eye is established as a deep socket in the mask, and then I can take an eyeball and I can fill that socket with an eyeball so that I've actually got an eye that has all kinds of interestingness to it, and I can dig a hole inside the middle of the eye for a cast shadow area for our lovely little pupil. And then I can take my coil of clay that I've rolled out, and I can lay that over the top of the eye, and then with our trimming stick I can blend that coil of clay in to create an eyelid for that eye, just like so. So we can get the sense of an eyelid being formed again by a coil of clay that is then blended in over the top of the eye. And I can close that eye down by just pulling on that eyelid and pulling it closed to relax the eyelid over the top of the eye, so that you can see we've got sort of a very relaxed eye here. It's about 1/4 closed and 3/4 open, which is really nice. We could pull some more clay from underneath the eye and create a lower lid below the eye if we want to, just by kind of pushing the clay around and actually bringing clay up and forming a lower lid on the bottom of the eye. I'm going to tuck this in and sort of make myself a little bit of an eye, a tear duct on the inside corner of this eye right here, and I can just drill a little hole for the tear duct. So I've got one eyeball that is looking straight at us. It's full frontal, this eye. This eye might be a little bit more of a side view eye, an eye that's viewed from the side. So we've got the upper lid over here, almost as if it were an eyeball being viewed from the side, with a lower eyelid right here, and this eye is going sideways. I've got this huge nose kind of coming all the way over here, and this is the tip of the nose here, and I've got a nostril here, and I've got another nostril kind of underneath here, and you guys can't see this really well. Maybe if I take the board and do this kind of a thing, I can look at some kind of a hideous, horrible nostril with a septum between the two nostrils here that kind of twists and everything else. And I've got the lips down here. I've got an upper lip right here and a space, a gap for the mouth, and a lower lip below that. So I've got a lower lip underneath here. And again, I did a lot of additive process, so I've got some quick and dirty texture that created the form of this mask. And then, but it's super dominated by this huge sideways nose, and the nose goes sideways on an otherwise frontal portrait. So I am playing heavily with the ideas that Picasso was playing with in terms of cubism. And I wanted to try to get you guys to do something cubist with this second mask if possible. I'm going to try a different view from a different camera angle just to see if it works at all. And otherwise, I'm just kind of showing off to you guys. So this is another camera angle from over here, over my shoulder, just to try to get you a sense of the size and perhaps the thickness and depth of it coming off of the board, because that's the board as seen right from edge on with the board. And so this is a pretty thick, tall sculpture that has a certain volume to it, you know, top to bottom and side to side. And yet I'm going to return to the bird's eye view here of this thing like that. So it is, things do not line up, and this is a really sick and twisted kind of a thing. Now your mileage may vary, and it probably will, but I really would like us to try something way outside of our comfort zone for the second mask, if possible, something that is a little bit more towards Cubism, if possible. And so I'm going to put up that little short PowerPoint so that you've got a couple of Picasso Cubist slides to look at. It will be in our e-learning shell for the class, and so you'll be able to see that. And then, you know, we will kind of walk through this again on Tuesday of next week, Tuesday and Thursday of next week, and hopefully you'll be able to throw something together that's going to be a sick and twisted Cubist, Pablo Picasso inspired mask, possibly for your second mask. Paula has her hand up again. What is it, Paula?
I was going to ask, because we're doing this at home, if we wanted to roll something out and cut it and put it on the mask, has anybody ever tried that with like a silicone Play-Doh mat? Is it going to ruin it? Will it stick to it, do you think?
The clay would stick to a silicone Play-Doh mat, but that doesn't mean that couldn't, you know, protect your tabletop really nicely. You still might have to use your wire tool to cut the mask off of the silicone mat, but you can sure use that as a way of keeping it from sticking to a board if you want.
I think I'll just do the board. Maybe if I just spray it with water, because I have one board that has paint on it. I think if I wet it, it would probably come off pretty easy.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Better than ruining my Play-Doh mat.
Yeah, I don't want you to ruin your Play-Doh mat. Usually with this clay, with this water clay and wooden boards and stuff, we pretty much just use the, if I can get it out from underneath my giddy up here, we pretty much just use our wire cutoff tool and would have to, you know, stretch it across the board and then slice it all the way back. I guess I can do this because this isn't really going anyplace. So I am cutting my mask, you know, literally off the board right now. And if it were ready for me to flip over and hollow out, I've just passed my wire right through it almost effortlessly. So it's not too bad to cut it off the board and flip it off the board. But you guys may look at this and you may just think this is hideous because this is so twisted and sideways and whatever. But, you know, Halloween is coming up. And so it gives us a chance to really do something that people have never seen before. Because most people, you know, they've seen jack-o'-lanterns and everything else, but have they ever seen something that was a Cubist, Pablo Picasso inspired form? I don't think so. And so that might give us really something to still hang up on the door or on a fence post for Halloween that would scare and impress your neighbors, if nothing else. Or, you know, the people that come over, you know, to get trick-or-treats or COVID-19 from you. I know that we're supposed to cancel Halloween this year. I think that's really sad. I don't know what we're going to all do for Halloween except wave at each other from the safety of inside of our windows and stuff. But, I'm going to just play with a little bit of a chin form over here while I'm talking, because this guy really needs a chin. And if he had a chin, then it might help to define better the bottom side of the face. So I'm just going to polish up a little bit of a chin, and I polished up a little bit of a cheekbone, and I polished up another cheekbone here. And you can even see that just polishing up and unifying those like 4 areas of forehead, cheekbone, cheekbone, and chin, and maybe a little bit of the, you know, tip of the nose really starts to unify the piece and give it a little bit more of a sense of unity, even though it is so sick and twisted and broken up as a cubist thing. What else was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to show how to try to fake a hanging device on the back of the other mask. So if you guys would bear with me for just a second, I'm going to pick this mask up and move it. And then I'm going to bring my other mask, which is finished, in here, so that for Christopher or Dylan, I forget who, is needing to add something to the back of their mask. I've got this old mask, like this old house, only it's this old mask. And so I'm going to flip it back upside down again on one of my things that I have. This is a bag full of shredded paper that I use as one of my soft objects to put a mask on. And so I'll put the pillow here, and I'll put my leather hard mask on here. It's very leather hard. So this area right here is what I would probably use for the hanging device. And I think I'll just go ahead and take, I'm going to take some slip, and I'm going to get it wet a little bit because I need to soften this a little bit so that more clay will stick to it. And I'm going to take my needle tool and maybe score this so that when I make a new piece of clay, the new piece of clay will stick to the old piece of clay. But you have to have at least leather hard clay to be able to do this with. You cannot stick soft clay to bone dry clay. It does not, there's too much difference in how much shrinkage has already happened with the bone dry clay. So I've got leather hard clay, and I've got it wet here. So now I can take a little piece of soft clay out of a bag, and I'm going to take the soft clay in my hands and roll it again into a coil, because a coil is like, it's what we use to fix everything, basically. I can make an eyelid out of this. I can make a lip form out of this. I can make lots and lots of things out of a coil of clay. And so I'm going to attach this coil of clay again to the back side of the mask on the forehead area and blend it in and do some blending on the inside surface of it. And that gives me, once again, a little bit of a lip right here on the back of the mask, which is an improvised way of creating that that hanging device, so that it'll catch a nail right here. Oops, I got to get my finger out of the way. It'll catch a nail right here and be able to hang on a wall or on a fence post or on a fence or something like that for proper display, to scare the bejesus out of your neighbors and stuff like that. So now that I've added that little piece to the back of the forehead of the mask, I'm going to take the bag out of here. I'm going to take my mask and flip it back upside right on my board and park it for you guys to admire and say, how wonderful, James. That was a fantastic demonstration. And this is getting us up to about 10 minutes to 2. I've been talking for about 50 minutes doing this stuff, but I would like us to finish the first mask, photograph it, and then there will be a place in our coursework for you guys to upload your photographs, so I've got something to grade. Tomorrow, please bring the masks over if they are ready to deliver to Eden Hall here on the campus, and bring them right on up to Eden Hall. I don't want to have to haul 10 or 15 masks from the parking lot. So if you guys can park in the parking lot and bring them on up here, I will have tables outside of my back door here by Eden Hall, by the Sculpture and Design Lab. And you guys can pick up clay if you need more clay, and you can drop off your masks, and I will finish drying your masks and load them in a kiln and fire them, so that then next Friday you can pick up a finished mask when you bring me the Cubist mask that's finished. And we will just start doing an exchange of, I'll give you a finished mask and you give me a mask that needs firing, and we'll kind of do that kind of exchange for the next several weeks of the quarter. How does that sound? That sounds good to me. I'll be here tomorrow afternoon, Friday, at least between 1 and 3, for you to drop off stuff. And you can drop it off earlier. If you can't make it in the afternoon, you can drop it off in the morning. But I can certainly gather them together and bring them inside, because that'll be fantastic. Do you guys have any questions? For the good of the order, I want us to finish one mask and bring it over to the art department tomorrow. I'd like you to start a second mask, and I want you working way outside of your comfort zone with the second mask. Try to do it as a cubist, Picasso-inspired mask if possible. So that's the assignment, and we'll see, how well that works. It's kind of tricky because I don't know if you're able to do this stuff or not. So we're going to try, and we'll check in with each other on Tuesday and see how far we've gotten with the second mask. I'm checking the chat, and I'm not seeing any other comments in the chat. I'm checking the participants list, and I'm not seeing anybody with their microphones on except for me. So I think I'm going to bid you guys a fond farewell for today. Thank you for being here and for attending class again today. I want to wish you luck with finishing up your current mask, and hopefully might even see some of you tomorrow afternoon dropping masks off here. So until we meet again, I want to say goodbye from here, and good luck with your sculpture projects.
See you later.
Bye.